You thought Hamilton ran off track because Verstappen pushed him? What if I told you he did it on purpose? That moment in Hungary, lap 29, turn 4, wasn't just survival, it was strategy, it was experience. It was Lewis Hamilton playing Formula One like chess, at 300 kilometers per hour. And here's the twist. That move, it might have just changed the tone of his entire Ferrari season. Because what looked like Max being Max was actually Lewis being smarter than everyone else. No contact, no drama, just a masterclass in knowing when to walk away. And according to Sky Sports' Anthony Davidson, Hamilton didn't get outsmarted. He let it go, because he saw something most drivers wouldn't. Let's break it down. Lap 29th, turn 4. Hamilton was ahead. Verstappen dove down the inside. Fast, aggressive, late. But by the FIA rulebook, for a move to be considered fair, the overtaking car's front axle must be at least level with the lead car's mirror. Max wasn't. Hamilton could have closed the door, could have turned in like normal, could have caused contact, but he didn't. He opened the steering, took the runoff, let Max go, and avoided an incident that could have wrecked both races and headlines for a week. Davidson said, Lewis had the capacity as a 7-time world champion to not crash. Many others would have just turned in. He avoided it. He survived. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. But this wasn't just a race moment. It was a career moment. Because if Lewis had collided with Max, again, the narrative would have spiraled. Old rivals clash. Hamilton frustrated. Ferrari chaos. Instead, he stayed quiet, didn't even attend the stewards' meeting. And you know what Verstappen said? If he really felt wronged, he would have been there. But he wasn't. That's psychological warfare. Silent, cold, effective, and above all, strategic. Now here's where it hits deeper. Hamilton made this decision in the middle of an emotional collapse. On Saturday, after getting knocked out in Q2 again, he said, "I'm useless. The team probably needs to change drivers. And post-race, hopefully I'll be back." He was broken, on the radio, in the media, in his own head. And yet, in the heat of battle, he kept his cool. Because Lewis Hamilton isn't racing for points anymore. He's racing for legacy. He knows what happened to Alonso, to Vettel, to Raikkonen, greats who joined Ferrari and never won a title. He refuses to be next. So in a split second, when most would have defended like a lion, he backed off, not out of fear, but out of vision, because a crash ends a moment, but survival builds a project. Let's be honest, he's 40th. Leclerc is ahead in the standings. The car's inconsistent. Ferrari is still Ferrari, passionate, chaotic, fragile. If Lewis loses control, mentally or emotionally, this whole dream ends. So every move matters. Even the ones that look passive might be the reason he stays alive in this fight. So here's the question. Did Hamilton just show us that he's still the smartest driver on the grid? Or is this a sign that time is catching up? Is the new, patient, calculating Hamilton what Ferrari needs? Or do the Tifosi want the fire, the aggression, the old warrior? You probably thought it was just another Max versus Lewis fight, another aggressive Verstappen move, another moment where Hamilton backed out. But what if I told you, Red Bull wasn't just celebrating an overtake. They were celebrating scaring a 7-time world champion off the track. Not passing him, not outbraking him, not even touching him, just intimidating him and then mocking him in front of the world. But here's where things get weird. Because Lewis didn't react. He didn't call out Max. He didn't go to the stewards. He didn't even show up for the hearing. And that silence? That might be louder than anything Red Bull posted on social media. Because maybe Lewis saw it all coming and chose not to play their game. Let's rewind. Hungarian Grand Prix. Lap 29th, turn 4. Hamilton's ahead. Verstappen dives down the inside, fast, late, aggressive. Lewis sees it, opens his steering, runs wide. No contact, no spin, no crash. But immediately, FIA investigation. Was Max's move legal? According to the rulebook, a driver making an inside pass must have their front axle at least level with the rival's mirror. At that moment, Max wasn't fully alongside, so it was borderline. The stewards investigated. Max went in, Red Bull went in, Ferrari went in, Hamilton didn't. He waived his right to attend. And Verstappen, ever the provocateur, said, if Lewis really felt wronged, he'd be there. But he wasn't. And that gave Red Bull the ammo. Live on social media, Red Bull posted. Max scares Lewis off the road. They turned the overtake into a psychological victory. Not racing, mockery. Now on paper, this was a battle for 11 pesos. Not the front row, not even points. But the symbolism, devastating. Because since Abu Dhabi 2021, every Max versus Lewis moment has been about more than position. It's about legacy, dominance, respect. And right now, Red Bull's making it clear, we're not just ahead, we're inside your head. That's the kind of power play that echoes through a paddock and through a championship battle, even when neither driver is winning. And here's where it hits deeper for Lewis fans. This isn't just about pace or tires or car setup, it's about ego. Because let's face it, Hamilton used to be the intimidator. He was the late breaker, the one others feared. But now he's 40. He's still adapting to Ferrari. And for the second weekend in a row, he didn't even make Q3. So when Red Bull says he got scared off the road, it's not just an insult, it's a challenge. But Hamilton, he's building something bigger. He knows the history. Alonso, Vettel, Raikkonen, all legends, all failed at Ferrari. He refuses to be next. He's not here for social media claps. He's not here to defend every dive bomb from Verstappen. He's here to rebuild Ferrari from within, to lead, to outlast, to leave behind something no Red Bull tweet can touch. But let's be real, that dream, it's under threat. Hamilton hasn't won since early 2024. Leclerc is beating him consistently. The media's turning. Even pundits are whispering about his age. And when moments like this happen, where a rival overtakes no matter the legality, and Red Bull gets to spin it as fear, that doesn't just hurt the standings, it hurts the narrative. And in F1, narrative is power. So here's the question. Did Lewis really get scared? Or did he choose not to crash? Is this Ferrari chapter about patience, maturity, and big picture thinking? Or is it proof that Red Bull still owns the psychological high ground? And more importantly, how long can Hamilton afford to stay silent?